now in front of us is a basic reminder of a statement that the president made towards his wife back in 2016, when he said that I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and other room. So this was a very particular statement that was in response to when Aisha Buhari did a BBC Hausa interview back in October 2016, when she declared that her husband doesn't know a lot of his appointees, and she believed that back then that the government was being hijacked by foreign bodies or outside bodies, outside party, or a cabal, as the word is frequently used. So this is a period when we should have been afraid. Buhari has always had a reputation back in those days of jailing his critics. It is normal. It has what he has been. He did it to the Taishola Reigns. He did it to the Arabos. He did it to Tunde Thompson. These were people when Buhari was first in charge. He jailed them on a regular basis. That is what he did. He has never been a fan of being criticized. He has never been a fan of people expressing their disapproval of his actions. And same thing, he did this in 2016 when he claimed that he campaigned in 2015 as a new renewed Democrat. We know now we can know it's a lie, because this is a man that instead of addressing the issue that was brought up by his wife, he decided to bring her down. So that is a statement that tells you that this man is not a Democrat. This man is not the sort of man that Nigeria should have elected for the second time. The wife warned us, but we insisted that, Atiku is much worse. I might agree with that actually. Atiku is much worse. But we must also know that the Buhari choice is turning out to be such a horrendous failure. Because this is a man that chose that the woman made a statement that everybody was thinking, and instead of addressing the statement, he decided to bring her down. And since then, we've rarely heard from the First Lady. Right now, her location is unknown. Possibly a lot of people are saying that she's outside the country now, and which means practically that we do have a First Lady, we just have a president. Well, we have no First Lady to advise him. Everybody around him are in sequence of minds with the president. That is why we should not be surprised that every action that towards the end SARS protest was done. There is no female intuition to direct the husband. So which is one of the things that we must take careful of, because the president is going even worse. His actions will get worse as time goes, because the nation is bound to fail even more, and people are bound to talk. So now today we are talking about Dawisu, the man that decided to speak out. He has been speaking out constantly in the past. The last time he spoke out, he said this particular word. He said to speak to your own people over issues that are bedeviling them has become something like a favor you are doing to them. Over and over again, you cannot spare 5 minutes and address the nation to calm them down. The same people who went to 36 states to beg for their votes. It is heartbreaking. So for this particular statement, Dawisu, I don't know why he calls himself Peacock. Anyway, he was suspended. This was in October 11, 2020. He spoke out against the president. Now, I want to say something. Dawisu is not a critic of the president. All he sees is he saw the wrong actions and is speaking against it. He's serving in the APC government. That is why the statement that actually got him fired and now in the DSS office is the one that actually is that's patriotic actually, because he said clearly as APC government, you can see he never separated them from the government. He took the government together, and even with himself, he said we as APC government at all levels have failed Nigerians in the number one duty we were elected to do, which is to secure lives and properties. Not a single day goes by without some sort of insecurity in this land. This is a shame. Deal with terrorists decisively or resign. So this was just a man that was frustrated. This was just a man that observed that, oh yes, this nation is failing, and decided to speak out. Many people like him are burdened concerning what's happening in the nation. Many, on the other hand, do not care. But this man decided to speak out, and the immediate action of his serving governor, his boss, decided to fire him. First of all, after firing him, the DSS went after him. So this is concurrence. That is why a lot of people is afraid to speak out. And when men like this speak out, we must encourage them. We must fight for them. These are one of the few things that we should fight for. These are one of the few people that we should fight for. People that decide to speak out against. This man clearly is being paid by the APC government. He's being paid. His salary is coming from there. But he never decided that he will hide his tongues or his feelings. Of course, it has landed him in trouble. But how will salvation come to Nigeria without a lot of people being sacrificed? Because that's the only way salvation can come to Nigeria. Because if we decide to let it be, Nigeria will stay as it is. The next person that will come might be even much worse than Buhari, because Buhari now is worse. It's worse than Jonathan. I remember in 2015, Jonathan was saying that he was the most criticized president in the world. And yes, he was partially right. He was one of the most criticized. But what made Jonathan different was the fact that he accepted this, or he listened to his criticism. No journalist was jailed under his time, under his presidency. But Buhari is complete opposite. Buhari has many times said that he really wishes this was a military rule, because there are some decisions he would like to make. So we must be careful at what we choose as Nigerians. Dawisu is a man to be praised for speaking out, and we must ensure that he is freed also. Thank you for listening. You've been on to LoudMouth, a social and political platform. We break down the news headlines to educate and ensure full understanding of daily events. Don't forget to share and subscribe. And finally, make comments. We would like to know your opinions.